Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time with a review of the high-grade Universal Century F91 Harrison Madin custom from the Crossbone Gundam manga series. And for those wondering, yes, this is an exact recolor of the F91, and no, it's not a P Bandai. That also means that the only differences now are that the color scheme looks like something I'd go jogging in, and we get a significantly bigger sticker sheet, which is usually to be expected from a recolor. The most obvious ones are the bright neon yellow ones on the shoulders, the two on the chest, the triangles on the shield generator, the side skirts and the knees, the 4 sets of stripes on the legs, and the 5 on each cannon that actually stay on surprisingly well. One annoying thing is that the stripes on the legs and the shoulders don't have any guiding panel lines for should you want to paint them, so good luck with those. Truly remold syndrome at its finest. Then we also get white ones for the shoulders, and we get the usual eye stickers, main camera and back camera. Which means that despite the giant sticker sheet, you'll still have to prepare yourself for quite a bit of detailed painting. Orange for the 2 sets of Vulcans, white, orange and black for the vents on the shoulders, front skirts, back skirts and ankle guards, orange and black for the shield generators and the 12 thrusters on the backpack, and finally some gray for the rails that the VSBRs are on and the bottom of the feet. Fortunately, things will only get better from here on out. Seam lines are kept to a minimum, and how this thing looks straight out of the box will depend mostly on how you like those highlight marker strokes and whether or not you're allergic to giant stickers. And for those who are allergic to giant stickers, you might want to look away now, because we're gonna have a look at the VSBRs, or as the manual calls them, the VESBARs. And despite the small size of the F91, they put a lot of effort into these things. Even though they just go forwards on a hinge, they made it look like it's actually on a track. And then we get an extra joint here to make it go in and out, and then we get another hinge joint to also make it swivel a bit. Then they simply slide out, revealing some really nice internal detail, along with the triggers. And believe me, with the way these are articulated and also with the way they just look absolutely amazing, posing these things is a lot of fun. Then for some more mounted weapons, we of course get the head-mounted Vulcan guns and also the chest-mounted Mega Machine Cannons. We of course also get a pair of beam sabers with clear green beam saber blades. And while their connector is the same as the regular beam sabers, you can see that they're slightly longer than the old style, but slightly shorter than the new style. And most importantly, they fit very well into the hands. Then for extra handheld equipment, first of all we get the usual beam rifle. This one comes with a sticker for the sensor, and the handle is technically molded together with the rest of the body, but you can separate it, and then it does become movable. If you want some heavier firepower, we get the beam launcher, or as most people will probably call it, the bazooka. Now there is an E-pack at the end, but as you can tell by the color, this thing is not removable. Also, it should be painted gray. What we do get is an extremely articulated handle. This is going to be very useful for posing this. Then for color accuracy, we again get a very nice metallic green sticker for the sensor, but you will also have to paint this tube here gray. And in case you don't want to use the bazooka, you simply turn around your F91, remove this piece, then attach it to this one, peg in the bazooka, and attach the whole thing to the F91. For defensive purposes, we get this really nice looking beam effect part for the beam shield. You simply remove the dummy shield and plug in the new one. And just as with everything on this model kit, a little bit of painting is required, some gray for the mechanics. And then the final actual accessories are meant to unlock the true potential of the F91. These extended fin parts and this very unsettling, uncanny face. Swapping everything out is extremely simple. Out with the old, in with the new, and then you just have to open up these flaps on the back of the leg. But now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to change that face back to the normal Gundam face. And then the final things that we're getting are some leftover parts. We get a pair of red bottom of the feet. We get a yellow chin piece for each of the faces. we get a yellow crotch piece, and we get a yellow head jewel. And now let's have a look at the impressive articulation of this thing. The head is on a double ball joint and it really has some impressive articulation going on there. Then the shoulders are on a single ball joint, but they also have an extra hinge at the top, so the shoulders themselves go up really far. And then the arms can also go up just like that, so the F91 can do its own last shooting pose. Then they will, of course, rotate around below the shoulder, bend at the elbow on 2 joints, and the hands are on the usual ball joints. The waist then has 2 ball joints in it for some really good flexibility, a lot of forwards and backwards movement, side to side rotation, and will, of course, also rotate around all the way. The front skirts are molded together, but can, as always, be separated and will allow the legs to go forwards really far, backwards not quite as much, but still pretty far. They'll also go outwards really far, will rotate around all the way, bend at the knees on 2 joints. The ankle guard will move up and down, but it's got a rather unconventional connection. It's actually attached with a ball joint in the back. Then talking about ball joints, the feet have the usual hinge and ball joint combo for some nice forwards, backwards, side to side, and rotation. And if you look underneath the skirt armor, not only will we find an extra joint, but also a connector for an action base. So if there's one thing that the F91 doesn't have any problems with, it's definitely the articulation. This thing is a lot of fun to pose, especially with the amount of accessories that it comes with. So as always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? And basically, this will again boil down to what I said in the beginning. How do you like your model kits with neon stripes and some pretty big stickers? Because other than this, it's an extremely solid model kit. For only 1,200 yen, we get a bunch of really cool accessories, amazing articulation, and some pretty good attention to detail too. So if you decide that the aforementioned issues are too big for you, do yourself a favor and at least get the normal F91. The only issue that it cannot fix is the scale. Because no matter what the box says, this is not a 1/144th scale kit. It is a 1/132nd scale. To some degree, I guess I can understand why they'd want to do this, but that doesn't change the fact that they're blatantly lying on the box. So let's do some size comparisons to really illustrate this. First of all, here is next to the Gun E's and the Jagan normal type, and the model kit of the Gun E's is the correct size, and it's only supposed to be slightly smaller than the F91. And as for the Jagan, while it is still significantly taller than the F91, the difference should have been even bigger. But the F91 definitely isn't the only offender. As you can see with these 2 Victory Gundam kits, on the left we have the correctly sized 90s kit, and on the right we have the slightly too big modern kit. And then finally, here he is next to the standard size Gym Custom and the always bulky Zaku 3. So that's all for this review. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope all of you watching have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.